Taken me a long time to figure out exactly what I wanted to do with my life. And I figured it out. I want to spend it with you.
All right, everybody, let's get into it, because this situation with Jim Jones is serious. It's not just some headline to scroll past or gossip that'll fade away by next week. This might actually be a turning point in his life and career. Jim Jones has been arrested, and from what we're hearing, this is not a small legal hiccup. No, it's deeper than that. This could change everything for him: his freedom, his career, his money, and even his relationships. If what the reports are saying is true, then he's in real trouble. We're talking racketeering, money laundering, and potential links to powerful people behind the scenes. Yeah, it's that serious. Now, let's rewind a bit, because some of y'all are probably thinking, wait, what? Jim Jones got locked up? For what? And believe me, you're not the only one wondering that. The streets are talking, and social media is on fire with theories, reactions, and debates. But let's break this all down step by step so we can understand what's really going on.
Learning new details tonight about the arrest of rapper Jim Jones in Coweta County this week. Deputies say Jones was a passenger in a car that led police on a brief chase Wednesday night. And when deputies stopped the car, they say they found drugs inside.
First off, racketeering. Now, if you're not familiar with that term, it usually refers to crimes committed as part of an organized group. This could be anything from fraud and illegal businesses to threats or violence. It's not just about someone doing something shady on their own. It means there's a whole network, and the government believes Jim Jones might be either involved or helping run something criminal. And this didn't just pop out of nowhere. Jim has been linked to certain street groups for a long time. Think back to 2019. Remember when Tekashi 6699 was on trial and started naming names? He mentioned Jim, saying he had ties to the 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods. Jim didn't publicly respond back then, but the internet exploded. People were questioning everything. Was he really involved? Or was he just being dragged into street politics because of old friendships? Now, fast forward to today, those whispers are now becoming real accusations.
Back seat was rapper Jim Jones, who's 41 years old and his real name is Joseph Jones. The deputy says when he pulled behind the car on the interstate, quote, he noticed the smell of marijuana. He told me by telephone it was so strong he smelled it before he even noticed the car weaving down the road. And when he pulled alongside it, he says front seat passenger Darnell Wright turned on the interior dome light.
But it doesn't stop there. Alongside the racketeering charge, Jim is also facing accusations of money laundering. And that's a big deal. The government takes money crimes seriously. They will come for your house, your car, your business, everything. Now here's the thing, Jim has had several businesses over the years. Real estate, clothing lines, cryptocurrency, you name it. On the surface, that all sounds like smart investing. But now, questions are being raised. Were all those ventures legit? Or were some of them being used to move dirty money? Because when it comes to financial crimes, the government doesn't just guess. They follow the money. If there's a trail, they'll find it. If something doesn't add up, they'll dig deeper. And word on the street is, the feds have been watching Jim for over a year. Yeah, you heard that right, over a year. He's been under the microscope. Law enforcement wasn't just sitting back. They were reportedly listening in on phone calls, setting up secret recordings, tracking transactions. They were building a case from the ground up. And usually, when the feds go that far, they're not bluffing. If they decide to come knocking, it's because they already believe they have enough to lock you up. And let's be honest, cases like this often don't happen unless someone starts talking. That brings us to one of the biggest questions everybody's asking. Was there a snitch? In high-profile cases like this, it's common for someone on the inside to flip to turn informant. Could someone close to Jim have betrayed him? Fans are already speculating. They're saying there's no way the feds got this much information without help from the inside. Let's look at the facts.
All four inside were eventually taken into custody: rapper Jim Jones, Darnell Wright, Jamal Smith, and Anna Miles. Deputies say all four are being charged with drug possession. The men are being charged with possession of a firearm and the commission of a crime. Deputies say they found a stolen handgun in the backseat where they say Jones and Jamal Smith were sitting.
These are heavy charges. You don't get slapped with racketeering and money laundering without solid evidence. And this isn't Jim's first brush with the law either. Back in 2018, Jim was arrested in Georgia after a police chase. Authorities reportedly found illegal substances and firearms in the vehicle. Jim took a plea deal in that case, which helped him avoid serious jail time. But this time, this is different. These are federal charges. And federal prosecutors don't play the same game. They don't offer light deals like state courts often do. If they're charging you, they're usually aiming for a conviction. Now let's shift gears a bit, because we gotta talk about Chrissy. You know she's been riding with Jim for years. They've had their ups and downs, breakups, makeups, and even that long engagement everyone talks about. When news of Jim's arrest hit the headlines, people immediately started checking for Chrissy's reaction. Was she going to make a statement? Say something on social media? At first, she was quiet. No posts, no comments, nothing. But behind the scenes, sources say Chrissy was working overtime. She was reportedly making calls, talking to lawyers, and trying to figure out exactly what was going on. According to insiders, she's in full damage control mode. Then, just when folks started questioning her silence, she finally said something. Chrissy posted a cryptic message online. Something about standing by your loved ones during the storm. Some fans saw that as a show of support. Others felt like she was trying to stay strong while figuring things out privately. Now let's get real. Whenever a rapper gets arrested, the first thing everybody wants to know is, who snitched? In the hip-hop world, getting caught in ARICO case is almost a guarantee that someone in your circle flipped. And some are saying Jim didn't even see it coming. That's how detailed the operation against him was. The feds don't just show up out of the blue. When they build a case like this, they use all kinds of tools: wiretaps, bank statements, undercover agents. And if you look at other cases, there's a pattern. Remember Tekashi 6ix9ine? He flipped and testified against his whole crew. That decision gave him a lighter sentence, while the others got hit with long prison terms. Then there's Alpo Martinez, a major figure from the drug scene who ended up cooperating with authorities to save himself. Jim's name was already floating around during Tekashi's trial. Tekashi said Jim was part of the 9 Trey crew. Jim never confirmed or denied it. But now, with this arrest, people are wondering, was someone close to him wearing a wire? Did somebody turn informant?
According to TMZ, rapper Jim Jones has been arrested in Coweta County. According to their report, they say Jones was in the back seat of a car that Coweta County deputies pulled over after a chase. Jones was arrested on possession of drugs and a handgun. In the report, sheriff's deputies say when they tried to pull the car over, they took off and a chase started. According to TMZ's report, during that chase, the car struck a deputy's vehicle and then finally stopped. Jones and 3 other people were inside of that car. After a search, deputies say they found marijuana, oxycodone, Percocet, as well as other drugs. They also tell us they found 2 loaded pistols and cash.
Let's not forget, if there's one thing the government is good at, it's following the money. And Jim's business deals were starting to raise some eyebrows. He's been involved in everything from real estate to fashion to cryptocurrency. On the outside, that all looks like smart hustling. But if any of those deals were used to hide money or move it in shady ways, then the feds might have picked up on it. They track everything: bank accounts, wire transfers, even social media. If something looks suspicious, they'll investigate. And if someone he worked with was already under investigation, Jim could have gotten pulled into it just by association. Here's where it gets messier. When the feds arrest one person, they often look at everyone connected to them. And let's be honest, Jim Jones knows a lot of people in the industry. Take Dipset, for example. Jim is a core member, along with Cameron, Jules Santana, and Freaky Zeke. Dipset has always had a certain image talking about the streets, the hustle, the grind, and some of them have had their own legal issues in the past. Jules Santana was even arrested in 2018 for trying to bring a gun on a plane. Then you've got Jim's connections to other big names, Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, Meek Mill, Rick Ross. And in cases like this, law enforcement doesn't stop at one person. If Jim's arrest is tied to a larger operation, the feds might be getting ready to look at more people, more artists, more executives, anybody who did business with him. Now, let's talk about that mugshot. When Jim's booking photo dropped, people were expecting him to look angry or scared. But no, he looked calm, maybe even peaceful. It reminded some people of Gucci Mane's infamous mugshot dude, looked like he was about to drop a mixtape. Same with 21 Savage when he got picked up by ICE. Even Young Thug had a stone-cold expression when he was booked on serious charges. So why did Jim look so unfazed? There are a few theories. Maybe he saw it coming. If he knew he was being watched, he probably prepared for this moment. He might already have a legal team in place. Or maybe he's just trying to keep his cool in public. After all, image matters, especially in the entertainment world. But the real question is this: does he have a reason to be confident? Or is he just putting on a brave face for the cameras? So what now? What's going to happen to Jim Jones? There are a few possible outcomes. Option 1, he takes a deal. A lot of celebs facing serious charges end up agreeing to a plea to get a lighter sentence. If the evidence is strong, Jim might take that route instead of risking it all at trial. Option 2, he fights it. If Jim and his legal team think they can win, they'll go to court. But that's a big gamble. If he loses, he could be looking at serious time behind bars. Option 3, the investigation expands. This could turn into something bigger. If the feds think Jim was part of a network, they might start arresting others. More people could be brought in. More secrets might come out. And we can't forget about Chrissy. She's been with Jim for years. They've been through it all together. So far, she's standing by his side. But as this case moves forward, will she stay? Will she speak out more publicly? Will this situation test their bond like never before? Only time will tell. This is one of those stories that's just getting started. The pieces are still falling into place, and it looks like we're about to see a lot more unfold in the coming weeks. What do you think? Is Jim Jones guilty? Was he set up? Do you believe someone close to him turned their back on him? And is Chrissy going to stick by his side through it all? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it. Until next time, stay tuned. This story is far from over.